Since the bells are going, I guess we have quorum. We'll go ahead and call the meeting on Tuesday, February the 11th to order, please.
Good morning.
Good morning. We will need a motion to approve the minutes, please.
I make a motion to approve.
Second that.
And anybody opposed? Awesome. Well, the approval of the minutes passes. So we have a lovely visitor today. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself and
Dan will show me electrical.
Yeah, what's your last name?
Schwegel, SCHWEGEL.
so he's here to kind of give us an overview and plans on the rooftop lighting. Renee reached out and asked that I kind of help meet in contact with Dan. He needed a list of, he has a list of businesses that have received lighting. And then I didn't have anybody with contacts so we could talk to people in who. So then I reached out to Fran because she has a list of some of the managers and the building owners, I guess. Right? Some of the.
Correct.
Yeah. And so I will forward that to him. So you can kind of give us your overview on what we discussed too. And
Yeah, so I'm just trying to put together a basic. Well, I've already surveyed it. My guys have surveyed it. I'm just trying to figure out how we can get in there to each building. We start at 7, and work 7 to 3, 3:30. Get a hold of building owners, because each building that currently does not have lights on them will need to wire an external outlet that's photo controlled. So somehow, some way, we need to get power to the exterior, and then we can hang the lights. I do know which buildings don't have them. I don't know which buildings actually do have them. And if they're on a timer or a photo cell, because we've surveyed at night, we've surveyed in the morning, and some of them are off in the morning, which tells me, do they shut off when businesses are off? How are they supposed to run? Those are a lot of my questions before we really dive into this. How are they supposed to be controlled? Dusted on?
I think, yeah.
So, I mean, there's probably 20 different scenarios, I think, in our district alone. Right? I have a stretch of buildings on the south side of the street.
What's the addresses?
My stretch of buildings and that kind of manage the lights for all the
Okay.
properties is 8110 to 8154, really to the end where the Thai restaurants are. And there's 2 Thai restaurants that are at the end. It's 8110 to that. The photo eye outlet is on the top of the 8120 building.
Okay.
I have a GFI inside of one of my tenants in that building. That strand, maybe it strands these places.
Yeah, I don't think they were on when I did my survey at
And
night.
so that strand was new last year, maybe a year and a half. City of north side of the street was probably put in 6 years ago. Those have deteriorated to where they're every time it rains almost, they go off. My tenant that's inside of 8135 Big Ben. Also, we have a photo eye on top of that. Every time they come in, they see the red light, they push the GFI, and they reset it. Not so convenient on the south side of the street, so they're off more often. So then I sent a message to myself and said, oops, go hit the GFI.
Sure.
Anytime it's raining, it's doing that. So
That would probably explain why.
we just replaced that strand. And it's in pretty good shape. The north side of the street, we jimmied and kind of cleaned up some of the sections that had dry rotted. Eventually the water gets in between the bolt and the seal that's there,
that's what
and it
we've
just starts
noticed.
triggering it all the time.
Sure.
So we've fixed sections of that. That section is due for a complete replacement probably sometime in the next year, but currently it's pretty good, even though it was probably off last night.
So that would be my big thing would be exactly which buildings. Like I have addresses, but I don't have. It's hard for us to drive around and put, especially if you're doing it at night. To make this quicker, it'd be nice, like 8045 Big Ben. It'd be great to have a name to it. Like,
Yeah.
It's easier for them to see it.
Yeah.
Say, hey, these aren't on.
and I'll have.
Or if we know where some of the photo cells are located, That's my big thing, is just a point of contact
Yeah.
to get a hold of when I send them out to service these, work on these, or install. I just know I'll get a 7 o'clock phone call. I can't get a hold of this person. What do you want me to do? Do you want me to wait around? And I hate to for you guys to eat that cost.
So I have my finger on the pulse of 2 sets of lights, and then there's Weber's, and then there's Commerce Bank, and then there's the animal hospital.
Looks like there's a building that doesn't have power because it's under construction or down. One of
Yeah,
the buildings.
and they did, that's Weber's. I called it Weber's. It's gonna be DV Mao. And
Because those
they-
aren't burning. Are those supposed to be burning? That was my other
Those did
question.
have, up until Weber's switched, I don't know if the new building owner is gonna want to do that, so that's gonna be a new install. When the
Okay.
time comes probably, unless they're still up from the previous.
Okay,
So I just know about 2 sections. One is in good shape because it's new and the district paid for the new lights a year and a half ago. The north side of the street, as we were dealing with it and having failures on the contractors to handle it. We were dealing with it in the fall, and then I found a guy to just splice some new sections in
Mhm.
on the sections that we found that were bad. We did some testing. So it's temporarily good, but I know that in the next
Yeah, we
year,
need to-
we'll be looking for new on that.
Need to do it permanently. I mean, that would be just a little bit more than just this Excel spreadsheet. Any information from anybody in the district would be extremely helpful for me to really get this
There's
finished.
10 to 15 other properties that have their own scenario and their own business or building owner who knows the condition and situation.
Yeah,
Versus
7905,
Okay, let me see what
like the furthest most corner on Dale and Big Bend.
Yeah, yours weren't on.
So, yeah, we've had problem for a couple of years.
Okay, so it could be either a GFI issue.
Yeah, and I also know that we had some work, the landlord had somebody out working on the roof because up until then the lights worked and I think they must have been on a timer because they would just magically come on and magically come off, but then there was a whole strand of them that fell.
Yeah.
And then that's been for a couple of
Yeah,
years.
we fixed a few, we've, because I've worked with Bob before, and then Kate and them, like, we got their building going,
We can make ourselves available anytime.
no, that's fine, and that's why we're here, that's why we're working, you know what I mean, we'll schedule it.
Yeah.
We'll schedule it if you can get us access.
Yeah.
And say, hey, I have them, they're not working, let's get in and troubleshoot them. I hate to just send my guys on a wild goose chase and then all of a sudden bill for our time and our downtime, and that's what I'm trying to avoid, to really get this thing.
Should we then, currently, we had a problem 6 months ago, we couldn't get it addressed, we found a temporary fix.
Yeah, I mean,
Should we just approach you then?
Yeah,
when we do
absolutely.
Want something?
or
that
my
way
office, correct, or you can go straight to Mindy@showmeelectrical.com.
We go through,
You know what I'll do, when I forward the, list
Well, we can,
out,
we can
I'll
start
make
with me.
everybody here, so you guys, because you might have relations with the next,
and then the
Whatever,
people
and then-
from, when they get into DD Mao, I can
Yeah.
share the information, say, hey, when you want
Yeah.
your lights,
Yeah.
we can help you get your lights, we all
Yeah.
have this kind of word of mouth.
Yeah,
that's going.
and then Mindy in my office, she's great, she'll be able to work with you guys and say, hey, this one's ready.
Then you'll have the direct contact per.
Instead of just
policy
calling me
situation.
for everything, at least we have.
Yeah.
Let
I'll
her
put
manage
it all on
stuff as
this, so
well.
you'll know
Yeah, but then I'll
everybody
just
here.
carbon copy her as well
Yeah.
on it, so
Okay.
she's involved. That's the big thing, is I just really need you guys to kind of help me strive with this, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? And like the larger buildings, I'm gonna need to work with Webster, to set up to get some sort of a lift to,
Yeah, I've already got that covered.
yeah, and you have
So,
that worked
Yeah,
out, so
we have
that's.
that worked
That
out.
was my plan, would be, our plan is to attack the buildings that are reachable with ladders, that already currently have them, need service. And then maybe hit like the Commerce Bank, do you know if they have them?
So that's a separate conversation.
Okay,
So today we're just Old Orchard. So what I also wanted to remind everybody.
Commerce is in.
Oh, it's that way,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
my bad, I'm sorry.
That's
Yeah,
the
you did
one,
that, I was
yeah.
like, oh, no, not that way.
I can talk to Commerce, since I'm at the end.
yeah, I mean, just as long as we have somebody to chit chat with and.
Yeah, so what I wanted to say is, so the plan is, the goal is to finish Old Orchard. Then move to the next district, not piecemeal. So finish one, They moved to Old Webster, yeah.
Okay,
So that's just so y'all know, that's the plan, so that you actually will see some progress.
FYI, in Old Orchard, I don't believe there's any buildings you'll need a lift with.
There's roof
I have
access.
2-story buildings, but there's access from the back
Oh, great.
and it's all manageable.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those things that we haven't really
they would be
started
more
walking
hospital.
around.
It just,
Now we will, now that we have points of
Yeah.
contact and
we know what our problem buildings are. We know that yours has been ongoing. Mine's temporarily, or not mine, but the north side of this main strip is
Yeah, now-
temporarily fixed. Is there other ones that we have on this list for either new install or maintenance?
oh.
You know?
So
I don't
that
know.
the purpose of him
Yeah.
connecting with the actual owners
Got it.
would be most helpful that way.
Just say, hey, we have issues and then, or like, the address is great, but if we can put a business name behind it too.
Yep.
I mean, just electricians have a tendency to,
And I'll see to match. Well, the other list is super long and it might not be all the storefront side of things. So that's where we'll compare.
I mean, it's tough,
Address and
it's
stuff.
tough too, without some input from building owners.
Yeah.
Cause we're not there at night, we're not servicing, all we're gonna do is take the photo cell, see if they fire, service them from there. And, you know, what if it rains and it trips?
So to clarify, we're just going to wait for our neighbors in Old Orchard to say, hey, you know how to get your lights fixed? And then we'll
Well-
just make the connection versus you driving around every night looking to see.
Well,
what's
he
working,
wanted
not
to
working.
take inventory, but was having a hard time understanding who's to who. So if you can see something and have a contact and feels like he's working on something, then he has a contact to potentially go ahead and get into the next one. So he's willing to.
Yeah, I
kind
mean,
of be the
whatever.
point as we go, but I think you were gonna kind of hit low hanging fruit, things that have been a problem, things, whatever,
Yeah.
before we start a brand new install, unless it's gonna be requiring a whole new install with some of these that were.
Get them up and, the goal is to get everything up and running that's currently running and repaired, and then tackle buildings that don't have them, for example, like the Commerce Bar, or just the ones that don't. I noticed there's a handful of lamps that are out as well, so I mean, that would be another thing we need to do would be go in during the day, tape the photo cell, turn them on. That's a quick fix.
Yeah.
Go through and lamp things and then report back to Renee, hey, we need more lamps. We need to order more to finish this project, or I need to get complete inventory of how many lamps, how many strings we need, but it's just a matter of us really diving into it before I can do that. But we have quite a few lamps. If the lamps, but I did notice on the other side, the lamps are different than when I say the other side.
Down in Old Webster,
Yeah.
it's different than Old Orchard, yeah.
So that was my other question to you. Once we tackle that, or I guess to everybody as a group, do you know if all the lamps that Renee has or that Webster has, are they all the same?
I don't,
I
I
have no
don't know.
idea.
When we did this originally, we did a big bulk order and then later we did another order, but I don't know. I don't know.
Okay,
So this is,
Alright.
these were
Yeah.
some lights that Eric had ordered.
Yeah.
I have the box, so I know where to get more, but I do not know what, I was told that there may be some mismatching.
My new strand put in last year was different than the original strand that we put in, just because we're trying to upgrade to something that might last longer. The actual bulbs themselves. I think we're on a 3000 K, they're like on a 2200 down there, that's why it's so
Yep.
orange.
that's exactly what I
Almost.
said. It was good.
And we're at a more of a 3000 up
Okay.
here. So
Well, it's good
I
to know,
have-
actually.
I have
That's what to
easy
look
access
for.
to my roof and I have a guy on my staff who changes my bulbs. Not that the whole district wants that done that way, but
Sure. just
however
wanna
you
keep it
guys work that
maintained.
out is how much money we're gonna spend having somebody change light bulbs out. for us, Right. I just change out my own and I have a box of them. That my managers know how to get
Yeah.
up on the roofs and switch.
Got it.
Well, as we get comparing lists, if the contact of people aren't super responsive or anything, let me know and we'll.
Yeah, or
figure out-
who-
Then we can
Yeah.
maybe help, you know,
That would be the
be
big
the
thing.
second point to go
Yeah,
into.
who should I go to
Yeah.
when in trouble, right?
Yeah.
Or when I need assistance?
Yeah.
That would be something.
Yeah, just let me know and I'll figure it out. How's
Great.
that make
That's
life
perfect.
easier? is
No,
to-
that's perfect, because I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of, once this really gets going, it'll be Ron, my electrician, that's on the project that will be working with my office and then
Yeah.
you guys.
Yeah. I don't know
Once it gets
everyone, but
familiarized.
somebody will.
Yeah, yeah, which is fine. I mean,
Right,
I
yeah,
just,
you don't need to feel the cold call situation.
Ron's great. He used to travel, worked for Reliable Relamping, and he used to travel the Midwest and do exterior lights, interior lights on like Home Depot, Lowe's and so forth. So he's a perfect candidate to manage this project, but it's.
Yeah.
I've
Starting
been
over.
telling
is
Renee,
hard,
I'm ready.
yeah.
Once I get going, I want to get going.
Yeah. Okay.
Pretty quickly, once we have all this information.
Yeah.
And he's done survey, he's familiar too, and that was his question. His big question is, are they all photo cell controlled or someone timers? And it sounds like they're all photo cell controlled. I just gotta find them.
Yeah.
And that would be helpful too, if anybody knows where these photo cells are. That could save some time on our end,
I have no clue.
For which property?
just some of them that
Yeah.
already
I know where-
currently have them.
From Balcon Tree Box to Weber's, I know everything but the
Cool.
strands or the photo eyes.
We have it-
I've installed and brought
Yeah.
them, moved the outlets into my properties and then moved it from the
'cause
GFI
all
down,
this-
and then my
this-
tenants can just hit the GFI and have. It's
That
pretty,
makes sense, lower them,
that
yeah.
those strips are. Those.
I mean, we could do a
buildings is-
faceless, I mean, honestly, we could do a faceless inside to where. Or even off the panel to where we have it right off the panel. And then it branches out. Then run a 3-wire to where it comes back. I mean, that's another option of where they know exactly where to go.
We're all set, at least on my properties,
Yeah.
and we just need someone to call when we have issues.
Got it. Okay, cool.
Okay.
That would be awesome.
Well, you'll have that as soon as I hit the office. I'll forward.
That's
that.
fine. Perfect. Thank you.
Any questions or anything else? Or we have another visitor.
Yeah.
You wanna
Hello,
officially
everyone.
introduce it?
My name is Joel Pugh. I am the city planner. I just hit my 60-day mark. So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's very, very exciting. Yeah, I'm very excited to kind of plug into all the different facets of Webster.
Well, welcome.
Joel comes to us from the city of Ferguson.
Great. Glad you're here. Thank you. All righty. Let's see, we've talked about our rooftop lighting, and a report to council. So we have, a draft ready. And I don't know if Katie, we can read it to you or you can, we kind of put a draft together. And wanted to kind of make sure everybody is okay with this to present. So, mission, we use a mission from last year. Prior year. Not sure. Our lists are approved to be.
I think it's just your echo.
Wait a minute. Let me do this.
From what? Me?
Something, no, it's.
Okay, good. I thought, man, I'm projecting. Okay. So our prior year accomplishments proved to be a productive year for Old Orchard with a successful gazebo series, trick or treating, and further expansion of the holiday festival. Also, the district continued to support the businesses in the district with facade grants and lighting throughout the district. We also supported and reinstate an activation of the Merchant and Business Association of Old Orchard as the outside non-government partner to coordinate and promote events such as the gazebo series. Anybody have anything else or thoughts? If you do, just please interject if we've done something that you left off the list or anything. For 2026, complete repairs and installation of new rooftop lighting for businesses desiring to be involved. Expand on and involve a greater number of members of the district in the events supported by us. Aid and support members with the outreach and marketing support during the construction on Big Ben being done by St. Louis County. Continue to support the fledgling MBAOO with funding, that crazy long acronym of the new little of our outside government. And then investigate lighting and signage for the north side of public parking. In requests, so some budget requests that we would be asking of this for the MBAOO for 60 grand for the event side of things, and then generally continue levels of funding in areas that the district has historically funded. So everybody is okay with this? I don't think we need a motion or anything to approve this, but if there's any discussion or whatever. So that seems to be when is that piece? Do we know? I'm sorry, I don't know off the top of my head to present
When
this.
you're presenting this.
Presenting, oh, I don't know, I was just told last year and given it, said deliver this on the date.
I wouldn't say it's April.
Okay,
I
all
don't-
right, I'm gonna take a peek, so.
Do we have a city council rep who usually sits in or is listening?
Pam,
Is there?
she's not here.
Pam would know.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think you did it because I had the commitments on the night of with these. I think that's why.
Okay, well, I'm happy to go ahead and read it again whenever that time is. Just
Okay.
let me know.
Okay.
By the way, do we need him here there?
You're more than welcome. I'm sorry.
No,
you
stay
can,
here,
you're
this
more
is
than
probably
welcome.
another hour meeting.
Yeah,
Nothing
you
to do with
can.
your day.
Thank you, John.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, that's fine, perfect. No, I'm
You're
glad,
Listen, or
I'm good. No, this is exactly what we needed and
all right.
nice meeting everybody and
You too.
we'll be in touch.
All right.
Take the information and we'll keep them
Yeah.
going and try to get them done
All right.
and working for you guys.
Thank you so
We'll
much.
see you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
On to budget discussion. When do we hit for budgets? Do you?
So I believe that's next month. I know staff right now, we are having to complete our budget this week. And I think CRPs are next week. I believe you guys are next week.
Okay,
Because then that's the other thing. And I wanted to ask in the past, how was this handled? Did you all have any say in the budget? Or was it prepared for you?
it was prepared based on previous trends and we tweaked it.
Okay,
If we saw something and kind of explained, this is where this came from, but we added a little bit more since, Parks and Rec
Okay.
might need, so it was, then we just kind of looked through to try and understand
okay.
that process.
So I think John has a copy of what Gregory had passed out. Is that the one,
I have
like
last-
the line item?
I have the one from last week, or from last month. As well as I have last year's preliminary budget, just so we could kind of compare and see, because the format's changed and some of the line items are changed. It's just an added step of having a glance through the budget and go, yeah, this is how we did it last year, now it's in a new format with new expense accounts, which led to having to dig in a little bit deeper. And the fact that it was almost just like delivered to us like, well, so here's what we're thinking, and it was Mara was extremely informed on it, and it was like, here's what we're thinking, last year you guys did 4,000 in marketing for this, 3,000 for this, 2,000 for this. I put those back in there again, and what do you guys think? It was almost like we were spoon fed, like.
Yeah,
where
we
were
kind of
going
were
with it.
spoon fed.
And so we never paid attention, and it was my early years, so I
Yeah.
was just kind of letting everybody else drive anyway. But now with the changes, it's like, I don't even know what this is, I've never seen anything like this, right? So I had to do some digging to really get to understand it and know it. Which led to a lengthy list of questions and a big
Okay.
email that I dropped in your box, and was hoping that Mark, or whatever his name is, Gregory, was gonna be able to kind of come back and tell us what the new line items represented. And some of them look like a whole brand new expenses to this district.
But maybe they weren't.
And maybe it is
weren't,
worse,
yeah.
right?
Right, and that's the
Okay.
thing, so,
No,
yeah.
that's what I needed to
Yeah.
know. So basically then the expectation is to go over the budget. So this is what I've done because I just finished planning the
Yeah.
budget and public works. Look at what it is, but with you all, I think the question would be in certain instances like the marketing. Is it where you want it to be? Is this, have you determined how many on top of what you normally do, are there any extra things that you'd like to do?
That's
That type of thing,
And that's
you
where
know,
the conversation
planning
was.
it
Here's
out.
what you did last year. Well, we've been talking about doing this. So like, and since I brought this along to show like a bunch of the retailers in the district put together this for Ladunas instead of the Webster Kirkwood Times. So that would have been a thing that I marketing budget last year was 18,000. This year, let's put in 22,000, right, for this added marketing. So someone has to intimately know these numbers. I think we know enough.
Well, it's not intimately knowing the numbers, it's determining what you want to do, and then you create the budget to cover the numbers. So, if it's that you want to do more, so are you saying you want a paper? If you're saying you want something like that, then it would be, budgeting to create that.
We first need a breakdown of what these accounts represent, so we know what we spent our money on last year.
Okay.
So, because I see salaries of 18,126, I have no clue what that is.
Right.
And I didn't know, oh, that's for Fran's pay, and that's for whoever.
And what does it look like
Yes,
compared to
mine
last,
is-
and what does it look like compared to last year? Because I think those are some of the questions we were hoping to get from Gregory, because when we did have it before, it had like not just the total, we knew where things went.
The
So
line item.
the
breakdown.
line item breakdown.
Which I
was
thought he gave.
And there's
A little bit,
There's
but
a
not
little bit
in
of
the way
that in last year's budget where we can see like for marketing or advertising, we have gazebo series,
Yeah.
sponsors, gazebo series, staffing, general advertising, holiday advertising and sponsorships. And we can see those broken down. We need to see that breakdown across all of the expense line items to really know what's even going on in those numbers.
So we can decide if we want to add in there, or so that we can get some questions answered about some of the newer line items that we've not seen before.
If he could be, or someone in City Hall could be prepared to just talk about the questions that I sent over.
Mhm.
Some of them we won't need to talk about in too much detail. I've figured some of them out since I first sent that.
Mhm.
But that I think would help us prepare the budget, it would help us know what is in these things so we can decide if we want more of that or if we want something different.
Okay, so it sounds like you need a line item. So what we're doing is we look at we're in 2025. FY 2025. And we're going through and you look at where you are now, because this is mid-year. And that's a determination of, so if you have a line item and it's mid-year and it's 80% spent, the question is why? And should it be increased? Then the other ones that you want to know what they are, that's fair. So I have to go back through your questions. What I think it's sounding like you guys should get a mid-year budget that displays your line items. It shows you the adopted budget for 2025, as well as the proposed budget. And then there's a third one, which I think will tell you what you spent last year. And then we can go from there.
Yeah, and even, go ahead, sorry.
I would say it's pretty simple stuff. There's not that much to it. So this is, I gotta imagine we'll lose 5 times bigger and a bigger headache to do that with. So this should be a pretty simple project for some.
And we're happy if we get it online to review it, and just we can email back and forth with Katie as well, and just kind of take a look at it so that we're not starting from scratch at the next meeting, if that's when we kind of need to start approving it.
Yeah, and you shouldn't start from scratch. So I will send to Fran and Fran will send it out to everybody.
Great.
With the line items. But some of the salaries are, actually, I misspoke because I thought, so it's broken out. But some of that is parks, because parks takes care of certain items down there. And so each district, and this is also part of the scope of work that I'm working on to present to you all, to show you what the city invests in the business district annually. And part of that is also salaries that absorb our parks personnel that take care of some
So
of the trees and stuff.
if those weren't, if we see last year's budget, we would either see those, or if those are a new addition to our budget, into our expenses this year.
It's
like
not
to
a
see
new
that.
addition. It's
we
just
just-
you never saw it before. They didn't show it to you.
And
before.
because it's in a different format,
Mhm,
Remember.
like, we just need to see
Yeah.
last year's in this format,
mhm.
so that we can have apples to apples.
Remember, I believe when, for example, when it was watering, when we got more pots,
Mhm.
we had to transfer more money over to cover this cost of watering more pots. But it was not listed as salary, it was just put into Parks and Rec, I believe, or
Yeah, it was a
something
different, it was
else.
never,
Yeah.
it was never salary, so
Yeah.
we saw the cost in
Yeah,
a different
they never- yeah.
expense line. So if internally that expense has been moved to a different expense line for cleaning up or whatever, that's what's just confusing.
Mhm.
for us.
No, I understand. No, and I realized when you said you
Yeah.
never, and Gregory told me after, he goes, no, they've never seen that aspect of it.
Yeah,
So those are certain, there's certain things none of us change,
Yeah.
even us.
yeah.
Salaries, FICA, all that, we don't have
Yeah.
anything, we don't touch that. That is finance slash human resources.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
Anything
So-
else on budget? Any other questions or anything? All right, how about new business? We're rocking and rolling today. BDC update. I don't have anything. BDC, any update on BDC?
no, not really.
Okay, city update.
So I don't know if you all had opportunity to watch last week, but we did have the Lakota group was here. And they did a great update on our comprehensive plan. That is moving along really well. We do anticipate having a another what do you call it? Engagement. And with the community, so that will be coming up. But it was a really good thing. The other thing that we have, I just want to mention that the city is also completing a resource for entrepreneurs and new business folks. We're working with the National League of Cities. It's going to be a digital platform. And I think we missed an opportunity to send this information out to all the businesses, because it's basically, we're doing everything from business plan preparation, folks that do that, angel investors, to people that are actually, they have a business, but they're ready to move it from, say, their garage to the next level, that type of thing. So I'd like to make sure we share that information with you all, just so you know what's happening. We just want to make more people aware of what's happening in Webster and why we are a great place to attract new businesses. So that is ongoing, and we're getting ready to wrap that up.
Is that something else exciting for us on the city?
I don't know if it's exciting, but hopefully we are getting that recycling bin,
Oh,
which has been taking forever and a day.
So they got back in touch with me. Reggie said, put together, putting it, he said that they would put it in the south side, in the area that we discussed,
Okay.
in the dumpster container building.
Okay,
I'm currently working with Republic Services about what it would cost and take to remove the one, there's 3 in there now. City was going to put one
Yeah.
new one that's recycling. I'm working on making sure that the other two dumpsters can get um picked up on Sundays. Is moving going down from 3 trash to 2 trash.
Mhm.
We're going to need an extra pickup on Sundays because of the restaurants on the street. And the retail, their biggest trash days are Saturdays, Sundays. So I'm working with Republic to get Sunday pickup, which is difficult. And this is all in the effort to not have to create and build another building or structure
I,
outside of
yeah,
this for the recycling bin, right? There's already a structure there.
yeah,
But if you had recycling in, the amount of trash that businesses have needs 3 trash, three bins. And if we remove one and put it in recycling, they need to have a Sunday pickup. Or we're gonna have to spend tens of thousands of dollars to build another structure.
I'm still questioning the price tag on that, but my question,
Structure,
yeah, but my question to you is this. Are you tethered to the public? Have you talked to Waste Management as far as the trash pickup or?
no, I mean, it would be convenient, right, if we could get it all on the same bill and get it in the same thing.
Well, I think that it might,
If that's
so we don't
efficient.
pay for trash, but I think they might give you a good rate.
When I priced them out years ago, they were more expensive, but now that they're having a pickup already happening there anyway, it'll be a different truck, because it'll be a recycling truck, but
But
I'll
still,
look into logistics. Republic, I think they're both extremely difficult. And they're,
okay. Can I connect with, let us
Connect
connect
me with your-
offline? Yes.
with your contact,
Yes.
and they'll be like, yeah, we're already going over there,
Yes,
let's get all in
yes.
on Webster.
Let's
And
do
then we
that.
can save some money, that'd be great.
We'll email after this because I was thinking about that and I'm thinking, what I will say, what I'm finding is, Waste Management is becoming more competitive.
Good. And ultimately, I have so much effort in this because I manage these dumpsters for all the businesses on that side of the street. I'd love to just have this behind me.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to make sure that I'm not like, hey, we're all gonna do the right thing and recycle, but it's gonna cost you 10 grand more a year, and I gotta make sure that I'm
But you know, we
Yes, I
pay for the recycling.
correct,
So that's not gonna cost you more,
correct.
but
But switching out a dumpster and then a Sunday pickup is a
Could
really
cost.
charge pickup, so I'm trying to manage the whole.
okay, and I don't want, that's not making sense to me. Let's talk about that because I asked them with respect to the structure, why was it going to be that much? And honestly, I asked, why couldn't we do like a vinyl fence or something? But
Yeah, let's start with waste management. I mean, I think we're really close. I think you city, the ball's in my court, really. So
Mhm.
it's ultimately, it's everybody's waiting on me to get
Oh.
through, and I'm waiting on Republic. And if you bring waste man, I'm so frustrated with them. If you
Yes.
give me waste management
Okay.
contact, I'll start with them.
okay,
And then I'll at least have something too to kind of keep Republic honest.
yeah, because what they'll
Good way to
probably
put it.
do is they'll change their tune, because that's what they did when we
Yeah.
told them to pick up all of the recycling, all of their recycling dumpsters, and we were gonna switch out, and then they were ready to make a deal.
Cool.
Do
I'm gonna
we-
drop a note right now to remind myself.
Okay.
Do we have, are most of the recycling that Webster Groves covers just sprinkled throughout, like maybe where the public parking areas are
In the business districts.
in the business districts? And are there a certain amount per, just selfishly asking, because we've got like we're down on Dale and Big Bend, we're kind of the last street before you get over. And we've been dealing with this issue just more personally. Our landlord doesn't care, but we've added a recycling dumpster that we pay for,
Mhm.
as well as one that the landlord pays for that covers for a couple of the buildings. And so I just didn't know if there's where the dumpsters are for businesses, and is it like per capita, this many businesses has a recycling bin that the city covers?
You know, that's an excellent question. I don't know that there's a formula.
Okay,
John, do you?
I know that there's one that's really on the back corner of what used to be Weber's.
yeah,
That's the only one in the district currently, and we all pay for that, right?
interesting, okay.
And my guess is this board, probably long after we're all gone.
Yeah.
Be evaluating where the best location is for
Got
these
it.
based on as businesses change.
Yeah,
Because I don't think that one's in the best spot. I have a lot of the tenants that are over there and their usage is minimal.
so they're
So-
recycling.
And so what's been going on is people, very recycling conscious tenants on our side of the street
Right.
and loading their cars up
And then driving
and
it.
driving it over there
Yeah.
because like, kind of throw it in the dumpster, you know.
Got it.
People are like, whatever, it's right there, you know, and they're throwing it in. So
Okay,
it's.
so there's really just one.
There's just one,
Okay,
and I'm
alright.
trying, because there's so much volume on this south side now,
Okay,
mostly between my businesses.
yeah,
Having another recycling there and the green initiative that the city.
Right, well, that's why I was
Green Dining
asking.
Alliance, and
I was like,
we're like, yeah, we can do it, but we need a recycling bin, where do we put it? Do we put it out in the
Kind of like
parking
parking,
lot?
it's a premium thing.
yeah, I was gonna say, because we do have a public parking lot down there and you don't necessarily wanna lose the space, but
Right.
where we have ours, we just, but that's also a very personal problem with a lot of boxes for books.
Right,
So we
Yeah.
fill up 2 dumpsters a week.
So your recycling dumpster it's not on the parking lot? It's-
No, it's like there's a little alleyway right
Mhm.
behind our building. So, so it in like, and it's just with our trash person. And so, but we paid to get another one because it's just, we were filling it up too much. So
Are you with, who are you with?
novel neighbor.
No, who's your trash?
Oh, Republic. But we've been trying to price out as well because they keep,
I know.
they're not our favorite either, but I'm not the landlord either. So it's an extra hoop to have to get anything
Oh, I
fixed.
see. So for you, it's landlord driven.
Yes, I mean, because
Okay.
supposedly he should be. Yeah, but we end up acting as building manager a lot. All right, thanks for that.
Yeah.
We're almost, I wanted to bring up a couple things. Fran, do you think you could post something about the open vacancies? On social, or saying we're looking for good people on?
Want to
something?
have a say
Yeah,
in Old Orchard?
well, because and we don't have to make a decision today.
to the district?
Yeah, because I don't, in reading over some of the things, I don't know that it's. And we don't need to make a decision today, but I want to kind of consider, I don't know that we need to meet monthly with having just 4 of us on the board. Reading it and would you verify, I don't think there's a requirement, right? Okay,
Eric and I had discussed that last year.
Yeah.
It's not.
okay. And yeah, I'm wondering just because it's the same for, and then because we would also with maybe alternate for having the other weekend or other month to be the new organization to try and get that up and going. But I don't want to do this if we're going to end up with a bigger board. I think it's the issue of just having the 4 of us and then the nature of potentially not having quorum and skipping one anyway with only 4 people. So, but that was just something to think about and bring up. Obviously, we can vote and have more discussion. But I just wanted to kind of throw it out there, but I don't think it's fair to consider. Maybe we can get some more people rounded up to be a part of the.
I've talked to quite a few people, and the question was exactly what you're asking, which is how many meetings do I have to go to? Okay, so I have to go to 12 meetings in this group and 12 meetings in this group. And I'm like, well, this group really doesn't do anything. And they're like, well, I don't want to be in that group, and I want to be in the MBA. Oh, that's one who's really going to affect my business, right? We're doing park benches, planters, and making sure people water our flowers in this group 12 times a year, 12 hours. Small business owners don't have that time. So my opinion, until this district's bigger, until there's more happening in this business, is that we would take this down to as minimally as possible. This is really an obsolete group, in my opinion, almost with how small our district is. We need to just come and meet and talk about our planters, flowers, maybe the big marketing thing. And this is maybe a 4 times a year meeting. Because the other group is going to be planning actually tons of details and have lots of
Events
busy
and-
work that's going to have to happen.
Well, I think on those off months, if we go that route, some of the things that we need that we would have to vote on are things like, what's some of the races or the events that other organizations want to put on. So we would need to make sure in some way, shape and form that gets, we would have to be committed to make sure we approve all of those since people are waiting for those things once they, you know, what is it, Santa's on the run or whatever, things like that other people want to do. We don't want to be, we need to be cognizant of those people when they have those items. It's our responsibility to kind of review and give the AOKs too. So
Special activity.
It's
special activity, thank you. Couldn't think of those. So
being that we're the ones putting our time in,
Yeah.
I think we could probably speak for future people who would be on this committee.
Yeah.
It seems like a lot for a small district, us to have to meet twice a month now with two different groups.
Yeah.
And that there'd be a better way to make this more efficient, which would be to merge them back together, but that's a different story. That's what we do in business, is we merge things, we
I
find
know.
efficiencies, and make more money.
I know.
But in this case, since for liability's sake, the city is mandating that we're separate. I think that there's still maybe a way to do a 10-minute meeting followed with it, and that way we're not all coming to this meeting and then, hey, guys, we'll see you tomorrow at the other meeting. Like, I don't believe that any of us have the time, nor will future people. And so at the city council level or at the higher level, I'd like to propose and plan on speaking with people on the city council or however to figure out a way to, and maybe Frank can start with figuring out what our legalities are, but to somehow, I don't have the time to do two things. They don't, no one else will. So
But if it could be back to back.
Webster or
That's actually a really good idea.
back to back or something like that. How short can we make this meeting? And then we can all just put 1 hour and really, because it really is the same group that this used to be that we could, that we got done in 1 hour. Now just two, and we've separated into two different LLCs for liability, which makes sense. But I think that we could just, and then we would have lots more people wanting to join because they'll come sit through this, the planters and the watering and the lights, city lights, in order to get to the meat and potatoes of what really affects and is gonna help their business be better, which is drive events and things that bring people onto the street for them.
With the brochure, that included the membership into this new organization. So now, once the liability and insurance and everything is in place, we have to establish all the bylaws, et cetera, then it's about getting those members to know that what they're really members of. And then that will be a pool of people, more pool of people. So it might also reverse back to getting more on this side too. But it's to balance it then.
I have 4 people who will join the other group immediately, because it'll benefit their business.
Yeah.
And they're letting us figure out plans.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Well, think about it and let's talk about it at next meeting or kind of determine, because I know also from those that we've lost via attendance, whether it's recent or even before, maybe something such as this could help to keep,
More people
more
connected.
people, to say, okay, we're in every other. And then that way. And I don't know if on those off times, we could figure something out for voting things. Just to make, on the special events and things like that. Are we all good with this? To be more, we would all have to be, I'm speaking for myself. It gets busy day. I finally just call friends like, will you come into the meeting? Yes, I'm gonna be there. Assume yes until I say otherwise, but I get, bogged down with it. So we'll just have to make sure that we all stay up on that if we do some, need a vote of some sort. So that's
And are you two voted on for 1 more year? Or your guys' days numbered?
Are we voted on?
Yeah.
we
When are you gonna be
committed
all
to this
looking at-
year.
We committed to this year.
We did commit to this year.
Is that this fiscal year through June?
Yeah, I don't know. I just said yes for another year.
Officer elections?
Yeah, we did that
I'm
last
wondering how long they're committed on.
That's a
I'm just wondering
calendar
when
year.
they'll-
calendar year. So till the end of 25 for sure.
Wondering when everybody's gonna look at me and say I'm in charge of this thing.
It's usually when you miss a meeting and you come back and find out they
You
moved
find out you find
Yeah.
out your VP, you're like, well, no, you find out your chair. And
Yeah.
you're like, no, please, Angel.
All right.
Yeah, but we'll.
So John, you can't miss a meeting.
Yeah. You get assigned things, but
Single-handedly.
anyway. All right, anybody have anything else? Well.
I make a motion to,
Second,
hey,
anybody opposed? Thank you,
thank you.
thank you, thank you.
Oh, wait a minute. Pam, hold up. You do not see her. Councilwoman,
Hey there. I've been listening. I woke up with the flu this morning, so I joined you via Zoom.
Oh, sorry you feel bad.
Thanks. I'm going to the doctor at 9:45, so almost ready. So I heard everything. If you guys could just share those budgets with me, that would be a good thing just to kind of see where you all are, and it would help me with your questions if you could send the questions as well. And then the only other thing was for city update, and Renee covered it, was about the Lakota group. So we did see a draft presentation of the comprehensive plan, and a lot of it is very exciting, and so it'll be great to see. Council's in the middle of giving comments right now, and we're looking forward to the final version so that we can discuss a little bit more and then hopefully adopt it at the end of the process.
Thank you.
And that's all I got. Renee, was there anything else based on what I just said that you wanted
Nope.
to add?
you covered it.
Okay, all right,
Feel better.
Feel better.
thanks. Yes, I will look forward to talking to you guys soon. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, everybody.